you to Organization for Women in Science for Developing World, Life Member, Friends of OWSD Awards, and the AGM of the year 2024-2025. You're welcome, and I'm sure you will have a wonderful time.
OWSD is a program unit of UNESCO, and the idea is to bring women scientists together, ensure collaboration, because we know the peculiarities of women. The days of childbearing, even the monthly cycle can be very traumatic for some of us, and about 5 or 7 days a month is lost to other things. So OWSD was founded in 1987 to bring women together, so that we can encourage one another along the ladder of life. And it grew. The initial thing was to address them, but we realized that there is research in every science, and there is science in every research. The walls of research are broken down to encompass multidisciplinary thought, because if you remember, research started from philosophy, and philosophy guides everything we do. So OWSD expanded to other allied research like education, social sciences, and arts, because to explain the concept of a scientific output to that man on the street, you need a communication and language arts person who understands the language of the man. From science to policy is a long way, and it requires that we speak the language that the policy makers and the recipients of our scientific research will get used to. And that's why it was expanded to cover all other research areas. And that idea came from University of Ibadan, OWSD group there. So a round of applause to University of Ibadan. We have a Nigerian chapter, and of the Nigerian chapter, OWSD Ibadan is the largest group. And we are blessing the children with over 10 units, because what we have done is that we have relied on the saying that there is strength in number. With over 10 units covering University of Ibadan, University College Hospital, NAGRA, Crane, NISER, NIHOT, IITA, and all. We have over 400 members, and that is why it has been possible for us to do the slide before this one, to do the things we are doing. Slide before this one. OWSD Ibadan had always been in existence since the 80s, but we had pockets of everybody doing a little bit, and going by the analogy of the snakes and the analogy of the broom, if you bring brooms together, they sweep better. The idea came from our President Professor Babalola, the Vice President of OWSD Africa, to find out why Ibadan is not leading in the OWSD trade. And that led to 3 people coming together. It started with a PhD student. You know, big ideas start small sometimes, and that's why we need to recognize our early researchers and all, because they are the future of research and science, who went to her lab in South Africa, and then she asked about OWSD. When she came back, she interfaced with her supervisor, who was supervisor of Professor Babalola, and Professor Adebowale was the gender mainstream chair at that time. They connected with the gender mainstream chair, and with her and Professor Janice, who I took over from as the coordinator, OWSD Ibadan started as OWSD UI, with the support of Professor Adeogun, who was the pioneer DDC research at that time. OWSD Ibadan started from UI, but expanded its reach, next slide, to other units. Next slide. Meet the OWSD Ibadan executive members and faculty reps. Next slide. And one thing that UI did for us, like I said, a lot of us in UI are friendly. Even in NISER, I've been here. They've been giving me lunch a couple of times. I'm still coming back for more. Very friendly and all. One day I was talking to the former DDC at me. He said, we don't have an office. And this is something that is very close to our heart. We have been sharing with gender mainstream, but it doesn't really cut it if we are going to go. We are going to be coordinating a lot of units. And a friend of mine, Professor Falone, who was the HOD of Petroleum Engineering, offered his personal office, because he said his HOD, he doesn't need it. He offered his personal office at a Goga building, a 2-room space, moved all his belongings out and found a lab to put in. And that was how OWSD Ibadan had an office of UI. Then the Akarigo of Ijebu, of Remoland, gave us chairs for the office. It is a voluntary organization run by donations from people and members' commitment and all. And with that and some other donations, we were able to furnish our office. I'm sure you like our office, that is a very tasteful one. On the very first webinar, you need to lead by example, which I did. To the next webinar, we had 10 webinars. Move quickly to the 10th one, please. The 10th webinar was given by the Dean of Faculty of Medical and Natural Resources to commemorate the International Women's Day. Workshops. Workshop 1, Workshop 2, and then from Workshop 2 we came up with the idea of a Life Member Award.
On behalf of the management and entire staff of NISER, I welcome all of you to the Institute. I'm being very brief. I didn't realize that I will have to speak twice, welcome you, and then be the keynote speaker for the day. But thank you very much to everybody. Welcome, and I hope we have a wonderful day.
On behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the first and the best university in Nigeria, we've actually been told it's the best. A few days ago, it was in the papers again, UI is the best university in Nigeria. All other universities are satellite campuses. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adebowale, MPS MNI, I bring good tidings. He's actually not in the country. He's busy doing our work, and he really wanted to be here himself because he knows what OWSD stands for. And he always says to us that if you want something done well, give it to a woman. That's his policy. And that's why he has so many women in his cabinet. And he sends his goodwill wishes to us all. He wishes us a wonderful time today and that the AGM will go well. And he's actually proud of the leadership of OWSD. Led by Professor Adeogun, who sometimes can be a pain in the backside, but we accept that. Because if she wants you to do something, she will ensure she comes, she calls, she will send you nice messages, and at the end of the day, this will say, please, give I know what she wants. But he sends his good tidings and he says he wishes us well for today, and he hopes that OWSD will continue to grow and excel in all that we lay our hands on.
Professor Mohammed Lawal, he would have loved to be here personally, but because of the exigencies of duty, he's not able to be physically present. But he is felicitating the OWSD, and always NIHOT has been a partner to OWSD because in the Institute we have quite a number of accomplished research scientists who are women, and some of them are members of this noble body, and he doesn't really joke with anything that comes from OWSD. As much as possible, he partners with us even to see that women are not left behind. So on his behalf, I'm bringing this goodwill message to say that for this program and even other programs that will be coming in future, NIHOT is a good supporter of OWSD, and he is wishing us all the best for this workshop.
Dear sisters, it is with great joy that I bring warm greetings from all of us at the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences. We have always given our full support to OWSD and will continue to do that. Let's relax and enjoy today's program.
Women's advancement in research has always been close to my heart. And my journey in research began, like you heard before, decades ago, first as an NYC staff in this institute in 1984. And that's the picture you see to your left. And like the Yoruba say, Omo ki pe dagba. And that's her in 2022, before she even knew that she was going to be Director General. So, notably, and to the glory of God, like you had, I'm the first woman to hold this position as Director General since the Institute's founding in 1950. Originally, it was the West African Institute of Social and Economic Research, and after independence, it was later renamed Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research, domiciled at the University of Ibadan, even though some of us went to Zaria. So we'll continue to argue with you whether your statement is correct or not. In many ways, my appointment marks a significant step towards breaking barriers, though only halfway, as much work still needs to be done in order to ensure that more women drive innovation and impact research. So the situation across Africa, particularly in Nigeria, is one in which we know that women are no longer just entering and participating in research spaces, they are transforming them. They are pushing the boundaries of science and shaping policy. However, this progress has not come easily. It is the result of resilience, diligence, determination, and collective commitment to challenge deeply rooted systems of exclusion, even though women do it individually. But when you look at what OWSD is doing, OWSD, sometimes it is collective action. Today we are here not only to celebrate how far women have come, but to reflect on the barriers that remain and how we can dismantle them. My presentation is therefore going to touch on historical trends, barriers, and how to navigate the challenges in research. The paper is divided into 7. There's this introduction. We have historical trends. The third section is about women driving innovation. We give a good examples of pioneers and those breaking glass ceilings. In the fourth section, we look at the barriers that persist, and then suggestions for navigating challenges, as well as tips for progress for women to break barriers and drive innovation. With regards to historical trends, we look at the colonial legacy and find that that period mirrored colonial structures that excluded women, and Nigerian women were more often than not barred from universities, and academic advancement was seen as the exclusive domain of the male gender. But by the 1970s, things began to change, and we had a first female professor of mathematics, Professor Grace Alele Williams, who later became the first female vice chancellor of the University of Benin. And her breakthrough challenged a legacy of exclusion and set a precedent for female academic leadership in West Africa. Come to the post-independence period, we can say as of 2025, according to DataFight, 23% of researchers in Nigeria constitute women. And despite the country's large population, we rank 23rd in Africa in terms of female representation in research. In contrast, smaller countries that are less populous, such as Mauritius, South Africa, and Cape Verde, lead the continent with 48.6, 46.6, and 45.8% respectively. This is according to UNESCO. This disparity highlights not only gender imbalances, but also broader socioeconomic inequalities and deeply rooted biases in education and employment opportunities, particularly in research. Fast forward to the 21st century. Today, women are significantly contributing across various fields, including science, technology, engineering and mathematics, that is STEM, and the social sciences. Initiatives like the African Women in Science, African Women in Science and Engineering, OWSD, have emerged, and aiming to support and empower women in scientific fields through mentorship and networking opportunities. For instance, in 2024, women accounted for 31.5% of researchers in sub-Saharan Africa, and in Nigeria, however, women are leading key research initiatives in agriculture, in health, in technology, but they are still fighting against exclusionary biases that limit their full participation and recognition. Despite these barriers, the 21st century has seen a notable increase in the visibility and influence of female academics and researchers who are reshaping global academic landscapes and inspiring future generations. This rise is not just numeric, it is also transformative. And we have examples of women who are driving innovation. They are pioneering and breaking through what was considered unusual in the past. And Nigeria has become a powerhouse of female-led research, from medicine to technology, from policy to environmental science. Women are leading innovations that matter, and they have expanded their reach by publishing in high-end, high-impact journals, leading cutting-edge research in epidemiology, environmental science, and education reform, as well as heading national and regional research councils. We have identified some key female Nigerian contributors, starting with our mother, and I've just chosen 11. And I want all the female researchers here to put themselves as the number 12, okay, so that we have 12 tribes of Israel and 12 apostles, whatever. But I have 11 examples here, so we can see their names, we see their contribution, their institution, we see the impact that they have made.
We're talking about breaking barriers because there are still barriers. We're talking about the growing impact because the impact is being felt. And I've often said we've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. And so certainly we have a lot to consider when we consider where we're coming from. We have cause to thank God, but we also have cause to thank our pioneers. and many of them have been already shown today in the presentation. I remember my own mentor, Professor Olawoye. She took me when I was a small girl, lecturer grade 2. I didn't know my left from my right, and I was scared of everybody in the University of Ibadan, and she took me under her wing. And sometimes she would push me and say, Janice, there is a workshop coming up. Go and present a paper. And I would be saying, why is this woman always troubling me? But she kept pushing me. And she saw in me what I did not see in myself. And you see, this is what we need to do. I have seen too many cases where there are women who oppose and exploit women coming after them. And I want to appeal to all of us that, look, our position, once we get to be a bit higher up, a bit older, our position is to mentor those that are coming behind us, not to stand on them, because I've seen cases where women have used gender to exploit others. And I'm speaking from experience, all right? And so consequently, I am just appealing to all of the members of OWSD that you need to see your position as one of lifting up other females, encouraging them. Professor Awe used to tell me about how when she was a young lecturer, and her husband was also a lecturer in the University of Ibadan, and they would say that she doesn't need leave allowance because after all she's going on leave with her husband. She doesn't need housing allowance because after all she lives with her husband. Her children, their tax exemption came off of the husband, not her own, because after all they're his children. But now we see that we have indeed come a long way.
And the award ceremonies recognize first the life patrons. We have about 5 of them. These are the heads of institutions that have supported the OWSD dream over time. We are really grateful to them. We are going to start with the DG of NISER, the Director General of NISER, Professor Simbine, as our first life patron for your outstanding contributions to OWSD Ibadan and female researchers. We recognize you, ma'am, as a life patron of OWSD. And the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Adebowale, MNI, FAS, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Janice, Professor Oyo Road, for his outstanding contributions to research and women advancement, appointing 2 women Deputy Vice Chancellors out of 3. One of them, the OWSD Ibadan Award Professor Adebowale, FAS, with the Life Patron Award of OWSD. Award goes to the Director General of Forestry Research Institute, Professor Zakaria Bibariadina, and we have a representative come forward, please. He has been an avid supporter of OWSD Ibadan for his love for women advancement and making a conducive environment for women in frame. We award Professor Zakaria Yaduma the award of Life Patron of OWSD. Next award goes to Professor Muhammad Lawal Atonda of NISER, DG CEO of NISER. Can I have his representative, please? For his admirable support to OWSD Ibadan and to women in his organization, OWSD Ibadan would like to present this award to Professor Muhammad Lawal. The Provost of Federal College of Agriculture and Animal Health and Production Technology, Dr. Olatule Owosibo. Dr. Owosibo, I would describe as a very easy to reach person. The first time we went to his office, I didn't even realize that we were late in UI. He said, "Oh, see my classmate," and that was it. Some other people will see you and just pretend that, but he's a down-to-earth person, very supportive. In terms of, in spite of limited resources, when we ran into the binder, we are still looking for money anyway because we have 3.5 billion to pay. He gave us a donation of 250,000 naira. Leadership is not easy. We had to pay that money, and we are still looking for it. So and he has been very approachable. Just send him a message, he will respond. When do you want to come? And he's been very supportive. The women in his organization, when we visited and evaluated, they were thriving. And he had a conducive environment for everybody. Several international peer-reviewed journals for his admirable support to research. On behalf of OWSD Ibadan, this life patron plan to Dr. Olatule Owosibo. Congratulations, sir. These are women that have not only distinguished themselves in service, but also in retirement. So we are looking at women who have distinguished themselves, women that we are proud of. I want to pay a tribute to Professor Margaret Adeogun. This is a woman, I'm not going to use was a woman. This is a woman who inspired us greatly. A woman who, even at the point of illness, took the challenge of coming to be a chair for our keynote speaker at the last OWSD first biennial conference. Mama came in slippers because she could not wear her shoes due to some inflammatory reactions that she was having. But she came and she showed up, and according to her head swelled and her stomach was sweet. She said, and that she's seeing this today. I'm very happy for her. We saw her before she passed on, and she went gloriously, and we must recognize her. So for spending 85 lovely years on earth full of achievements, can we stand up for a 1-minute recognition? Silence for Professor Adeogun. Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju. For your outstanding research, prowess, and support to OWSD Ibadan, we recognize you today as a life member of OWSD Ibadan.
Obìnrin ni mí.
On our list is Professor Olayinka Olushola Omigodu. Can I have somebody represent Professor Omigodu, please? For our support to women advancement and OWSD Ibadan, we recognize and award Professor Olayinka Omigodu with the Life Member Award of OWSD. Professor Oyedunni S. Arulogun, the Vice Chancellor of Chrisland University. For your support to OWSD and to women in general, we appreciate you and we award you with this Life Member Award of OWSD. Congratulations. Professor Adanze Asino. My head is swelling and my stomach is sweet to present you with the Life Member Award of OWSD. Next one goes to Professor Ronke Akipelu for our outstanding contribution to research and development. We present this certificate to Professor Ronke Akipelu. Congratulations. to this remarkable woman who I can call in 24 hours to be a keynote speaker. And she'll say, hey, you know my work, but don't worry, I'll be there. As Vice Chancellor of Chrisland University, I can say that this woman is the most accessible Vice Chancellor that I've met. She did not change. From congratulating me when I first became a professor to now, she has been consistent in reaching out to everybody. I call respectfully on Professor Chinedu, peaceful peace, Babalola. Always been there, no matter the season, when we call on you. By the way, today is our husband's birthday. I want to award you, on behalf of OWSD Ibadan, with a Life Member Award of OWSD. Congratulations. Olanle A. Adeni, FAS. Professor Adeni, for your commitment to the advancement of humanity in general and women in particular, OWSD Ibadan awards you the Life Member Award of OWSD Ibadan. Congratulations. Next, we have Professor Titilayo Opake for our support to OWSD Ibadan and women advancement. I, on behalf of OWSD Ibadan, award this Life Member Certificate to Professor Opake. Congratulations. Can I call on the representative of Professor Oyedunni, SAN, to please come forward? Professor Bankoshe has particularly committed to all OWSD Ibadan activities and has been very encouraging. So we send this to you, Professor Bankoshe, SAN, and we appreciate her as we compare her with the Life Member Award of OWSD Ibadan. Congratulations. Professor Oyeronke Odunola, to please come forward. Oyeronke Adoni Odunola. This is very dear to my heart because we have known each other for a long time before we got to OWSD. And in OWSD, she has been a supportive member. She's always Abu. Beleo, how are you, my sister? Thank you, my sister. And there's a joke I always crack with her. I will not be rude. She understands better. Support that you are giving to OWSD is highly appreciated. She is at every event of OWSD. No matter how things are, we recognize you today for your outstanding contributions, research and women advancement as you become a life member of OWSD Ibadan. Thank you. Professor of Christology, University of Ibadan, Professor Adeshola Adebowale. For your outstanding support and contribution, not my name. We want to, on behalf of OWSD Ibadan Branch, I present you with the Life Member Certificate of OWSD and thank you much for the engagement. Olufunke Eunice Oladeris, the cute professor of veterinary medicine, and my doctor. That has risen from the ashes of life to become a smiling person. I was there, so I know. And she embodies resilience. As if my husband and my friends. If my husband was my friend before she became my friend. And then we have grown through life. It's one female thing that brought a lot of money to our faculty. I mean a lot of research money. And it's going to set the faculty on a path to greatness for your outstanding and selfless contributions to female advancement and researchers' advancement in general. and for holding forth in spite of all odds. Today, I congratulate you on behalf of OWSD Ibadan and award you the Life Member Award of OWSD. Professor Olukemi Adeyole is a Professor of Forest Production and Products. I, on behalf of OWSD, present you with the Life Member Award, and Destiny has chosen your mother to present this to you. Congratulations. Professor Stella Olawoye, Professor of Indian Education, presents this on behalf of OWSD, Professor Stella Olawoye, and she's being conferred with the Life Member of OWSD. Congratulations. Dr. Mercy Iroaganachi. For your commitment to OWSD and for women in general, we present this on behalf of OWSD Ibadan as a life member of OWSD. I want to call on Dr. Oyedunni. Next slide, please. Dr. Oyedunni has shown remarkable commitment as member of our committee. She's one of the few people that I can call at any time. In fact, she surprised me by raising a donation of 1 million for the April 24, 2025 International Day for Girls in ICT. Our commitment to OWSD Ibadan is unparalleled. For your unwavering support to OWSD and community, I present to you, on behalf of OWSD Executive Committee, the Life Member Award of OWSD. Congratulations. This is Adeogun Olubamiwa. When the sciences of the Polytechnic as all of you we recognize your contributions and we award you the Life Member of OWSD. Congratulations. The Polytechnic Ibadan is being conferred with the Life Member Award of Polytechnic. He is the current Deputy Rector of the Polytechnic for our contribution to research and training advancement activities. I present on behalf of OWSD the award of Life Member of OWSD. Congratulations. The next round of award is the Friends of OWSD from developed and developing countries who have at least an undergraduate degree or equivalent one. They are committed to promoting OWSD objectives, either with their spouse, as heads of institutions, like mentoring, sharing experience, and fundraising. And they advocate for OWSD mission and goals. There are currently 8,400 friends of OWSD internationally. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not one of them. As the pace setter OWSD in Ibadan, we have instituted this award today to recognize men who have supported us. And we are going to form a WhatsApp group after this and encourage them to join the OWSD International. OWSD Ibadan is about to launch our website where your names will be posted as friends of OWSD, and we will keep interfacing with you to share from your wealth of knowledge and experience to make OWSD better. So you are not only becoming OWSD, friends of OWSD Ibadan, but from today we will encourage you to join the international path so that we can gain more and learn more from you. I am going to start with Professor Solomon Olukayode-Fagade. Professor Solomon Olukayode-Fagade and Mark Wabu. So these are our notable professors who have contributed immensely to science as fellows of the academy and as great publishers. Professor Fagade will be 90 this year. And Professor Wagu is doing something that nobody else has done. At 86, he has registered for a PhD in the Institute of African Studies. We appreciate you, sir, and for your immense contribution to recognize you as friends of OWSD.
Adeogun, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀dá ohun burúkú a máa yọ ọdún wọn ṣe ni.
Professor Larry Olatokunbo Aina, Adetokunbo Aina, to please come forward for your contributions and support to OWSD Ibadan. We appreciate you, sir, and on behalf of OWSD, I confer you with this honor, friend of OWSD. Congratulations.
Mo ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ nínú.
Professor Olufemi Bamiro, the former Vice Chancellor and Emeritus Professor of Engineering. Can somebody please come and receive this on the behalf? For his belief that women can attain the class and his support of women causes office. He was one of our presenters at our research collaboration, where he talked to women about how to conduct research. We recognize today Professor Olufemi Bamiro and award him the friend of OWSD. The first member, the person we recognize as the first friend of OWSD, Professor Francis Ekoka, who has a sash of OWSD Ibadan and says he will wear the sash proudly as a woman supporter. He has been an avid supporter. When we started with a prayer and a song, he was the first person to say, I am going to support this association. And today we recognize him as the first friend of OWSD for your support to confer the award.
Am I yọnu sí mi?
Professor Abel and has supported OWSD because attending our programs, being a plenary chair for us at the last OWSD conference. For this and many more, we recognize and award the friend of OWSD award to Professor Abel. Congratulations.
Àgbàtọ̀mọdé ẹ̀ máa yọnu sí.
Professor Peter Olawoye, the BBC academic, for his support to OWSD, always been available for our programs in our short list. We appreciate and commend Professor Olawoye and make him a friend of OWSD. Congratulations. Then I call on Professor Abiodun Aisoni. Professor Josoni was my teacher and he's still my supporter. He has also contributed to tertiary education books. When we started out this thing in 2022, he was one of the few people that supported us and gave ideas. So Professor Sonny, today we recognize you for your quiet support and all this as we award you with congratulations.
Ọkùnrin tóbìnrin ẹ yọnu sí mi.
Professor Isaac Olawale Albert, on behalf of OWSD Ibadan, I send this through you to Professor Albert, extending our warm wishes as we confer on me the life member award of OWSD. So the friend of OWSD award.
Ẹni bá yọnu sí mi.
Professor Obi Alex Ugumba, I recognize today one of my students, Professor Obi Alex Ugumba FFS, for your support to women advancement, support to my own advancement, and OWSD. Congratulations.
Ṣọ́jú ìyọnu ọlọ́run ọba, ìyọnu ọlọ́run ọba, ìyọnu ọlọ́run ọba.
Professor Alexander Bababumi Odai, always attending our programs. He will be the first to get there. He's always prompt. So we thank you, sir, for your support as we award you with a friend of OWSD. Congratulations.
Ìyọnu ọlọ́run ọba, ìyọnu ọlọ́run ọba òun lẹ́ọ̀ máa rí.
Professor Adigun Agbaje, a former Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. Professor Olufunke Oladelis, can you receive this on your behalf? Dean Faculty of Deep Social Science and Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Agbaje contributed immensely to the academic upliftment of the University of Ibadan, and that is a front not in any doubt. With over 200 publications, a prolific writer and a supporter of women advancement, on behalf of OWSD Ibadan, I present this to Professor Adebowale as a friend of OWSD. Congratulations. Professor Agbaje is the only PhD candidate that got his PhD without a single correction from any exam. I must say a quiet achiever and a very deep person. He is the type of person that is maybe because of sociology is very observant. Thank you, sir, for your support to OWSD Ibadan as we are working with friends of OWSD Ibadan. Thank you, sir. Professor Olugbenga A. Falode. This is a man that I want you to please give a round of applause to. Please, I need a loud round of applause for him. When I was presenting the story of OWSD, I mentioned that a professor vacated his personal office to give us an office. He can be shy sometimes. So, Professor Falode did something that I could not, because I don't think I can vacate my office. But when I told him we needed an office, he said, I'm in the HOD's office. I have another office that I can use. And asked the students to bring everything from the office to a smaller laboratory that he was using. OWSD Ibadan members, I want you to please stand and give a mark of honor to the class for Professor. So for everything you have done for OWSD Ibadan, and the more that we expect, I want to award you as a friend of OWSD. Professor Ayodeji S.O. Ogunjuigbe, the Provost College of Postgraduate College, University of Ibadan. Professor Adebowale, can you please come and accept this on the behalf? And he's always supporting OWSD activities every time we call him. For your support, OWSD, we want to congratulate you as you are one of the friends of OWSD. Congratulations. The Dean Faculty of Science, Professor Olawoye, the person who hosted our first biannual OWSD conference without collecting a kobo, gave us the facilities of the faculty to run it, and was on ground to make sure that generator is working. He left the high table and went to the generator place. When the generator went to the opening ceremony, at a point I had to tell him, Prof, please come back and sit down. Because after it was working, he said, let me stay around in case something happens. A committed, quiet attendant. We recognize the support of as we are working with friends of OWSD. Ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba, ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba, ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba, lẹ́wọ̀n máa rí. Àánú mo rí gbà adé orí ọ̀gbìn. Àánú mo rí gbà adé orí ọ̀gbìn. Èmi jáyé orí mi. Professor Olúfẹ́mi A. Adébẹ̀sán, an avid supporter of OWSD Ibadan. No matter how busy it is, with over 100 publications in international journals. For your support to OWSD, we recognize you today as a friend of OWSD. Thank you, sir, for all you do and congratulations. Professor Ayodele S. Jegede, a professor of sociology, and I have Adeogun come forward to receive this. For your support to OWSD Ibadan, we thank you, sir, and recognize you with an award of friend of OWSD. Congratulations, sir. Kí Olawoye, a professor of sociology, Professor Olawoye. During our first biennial conference, Professor Olawoye gave us a bus to convey our participants free of charge, and even bought the fuel we use for the first day. Professor Olawoye has been a quiet supporter of OWSD Ibadan activities, a media, and what will I call it? It radiates in him. You know, when you are natural, when it is a calling, you know the difference. The difference is very clear between a calling and just looking for the job. Professor Olawoye exudes the calling into academics, looking into African civilization and renaissance. And for that, he authored the book Afrobeat, Bella and Imagined Continent in 2002. For your contribution to OWSD, we thank you, sir, as we recognize you. Professor Ayola Akiwole, the immediate past chairman of ASU, we are recognizing them today because when OWSD wants to travel or have a program, Professor Akiwole, you just need to make a phone call to him. He will release the bus to us. And sometimes he will buy fuel with his own money into the bus as his support to OWSD. Same goes for Professor Adebowale. Please go to that too. The professor of engineering, who has been an avid supporter of OWSD for their impact in the advancement of OWSD Ibadan. We recognize them today and please extend our congratulations to them as they become friends of OWSD. Thank you, sir. I'm going to call on Professor Adebowale, who is always at all OWSD programs. Sometimes he wants to leave, but when I look at him, I know I can be a terrorist. He's quite committed, a quiet achiever, a very respectful person in position. He epitomizes what we should do when we are in a position of service. He shows service and humility. And because of your support to OWSD, we recognize it today, sir. And we say thank you, sir, for your support as you become a friend of OWSD. Congratulations. Dr. Aki Ademuiwa. Professor Sonny, can you receive this on behalf of Dr. Aki Ademuiwa? Dr. Aki Ademuiwa is a senior lecturer in the Department of European Studies. One of the first few people to support our vision of OWSD. Because I belong to a group in the staff club of University of Ibadan called the Palace. And I'm the only female member of that group. And when I assumed office as the coordinator of OWSD, they all came together to support it. And they have been telling me, when are you going to start the one for men? Today we have started the one for men. As friends of OWSD, they have been very supportive. Dr. Adebowale has published extensively, and for his outstanding support to OWSD, we recognize him today as a friend of OWSD. Congratulations, sir. Dr. Sikiru Adetono Ajibola. Dr. Adetono Ajibola surprised me. Because you know, sometimes you want to get in touch with people in position of authority and you don't know them. You send somebody to them, some people feel offended. While we were preparing for OWSD conference, one of our members reached out to him and just took a letter from me and gave it to him. And without calling me or finding out why I'm sending somebody, he donated drinks from his personal purse to make sure that that program goes well. These are the men that we are looking for in OWSD to support our dream and to make sure that we achieve what we want to achieve. For this act and many more that we are expecting from you, recognize it today. Dr. Sikiru Adetono, who had his PhD from University of Ibadan. When it is University of Ibadan, it is University of Ibadan. Thank you for your support, sir, as you become a friend of OWSD. Congratulations. The only boyfriend of all the women in administration and else everywhere. A very amiable and approached and easily reached person who always supports us with a smile. Mr. Saliu, Saliu, the Registrar, an happy supporter of OWSD. I think that they all manage me because I can call him at 12 midnight and say, Registrar, I need a bus tomorrow morning. They say, sister, don't worry, you will get it. And today, thank you very much for your support, sir. He had to quickly leave a meeting in Lagos to be able to make this. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you and we are working with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. Now we are going to the industry. As you recognize Mr. Danjuma John Ekele, a seasoned corporate affairs professional, is the corporate affairs manager for West and Midwest, Nigerian Breweries PLC. When we had our International Day for Girls in ICT, Mr. Danjuma supported us with all the drinks we use for the girls, and we had over 200. Dr. Oyedunni, please come and accept this. Unfortunately, he's not able to make it because of a family emergency. So for his support to OWSD Ibadan, we recognize Mr. John Ekele Danjuma as a friend of OWSD. Thank you, sir. Mr. Olawoye, as the head of the Health Records Unit, University Health Services Graduate, as a former president of the staff club, when we were starting out with this day, he provided us with space. When we had our first retreat and picnic, he provided us with all the chairs and tables in the staff club at no cost. We recognize you today, sir, because you have really supported our cause, and we wish you all the best as we award you the Friend of OWSD Ibadan. Let us love Banafo. Please come forward. Please let us love Banafo is Executive Director of CEO Africa. CEO Africa has been supporting OWSD Ibadan since we started having activities. Sometimes at no cost, he will come and record videos and post it online, promoting the activities of OWSD since about 3 years ago. It is important today that we recognize him for his selfless service to OWSD. So on behalf of OWSD, recognize Cletus Banafo as we present him with the Friend of OWSD Award. On behalf of OWSD, please extend our thanks and appreciation to him, and that we will continue to depend on him and we wish him well as he continues to support men and branch. Congratulations and OWSD Ibadan celebrates distinguished Professor Antonia Simbine. I want you to all sing a happy birthday song for her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you always.
Congratulations, happy birthday to you. You are the son of his day. Congratulations, Happy birthday to you. You are the son of this day. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you. You are the son of this day. When we celebrate, we dey pop champagne. We dey pop champagne. We dey pop champagne. Pop, 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 pop,
The ability to dream for more and reach for more, and to align ourselves with the objectives and the mission and vision of OWSD International motivated us to organize periodic workshops, Life Member Award, and Friends of OWSD. Like I mentioned during the program, Friends of OWSD are those that support the vision of OWSD. And OWSD International has over 8,000 Friends of OWSD from all walks of life. In Nigeria, OWSD Ibadan will be the first branch to have Friends of OWSD, aligning with the objectives of International. We recognize life members as those who have contributed immensely to a cause, in this case, the advancement of women researchers, as mentors, as guides, as promoters of women inclusivity in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and allied sciences. And that's why we have honored these people today with the honor of life members of OWSD. And for our DGs and EDs and CEOs that have supported us with our programs, we honor them with life patron of OWSD today. And it was a very wonderful event, well attended, with over 150 attendees at this program.
Research, the backbone of development is research. We need to understand that basics. We can only develop if we find out problems, society's problems, and based on those, we also profile solutions. That is research, investigating to understand. Now, in this process, as in every other process, politics, transport, whatever, men and women who constitute members of society should be involved. And so it is in that context that women should also be involved in research, because also they can look at problems wearing a gender lens. That means they can look at it from how things affect both men and women equally. So that's, for me, is the important.
Research is what drives societal development. And any society that does not prioritize research is not ready for development. It is research findings that inform policies, that inform the direction the society will go. And that is why we at OWSD recognize the importance of research and are encouraging our members through capacity building with workshops like this to ensure that they are able to give more to their institutions, thereby improving productivity and capacity building in their respective institutions.
Like I noted during the lecture, they should stay focused on their life plans, their life ambitions. They should be hardworking. There's no free lunch anywhere. They should not cut corners. They should be consistent in the work that they do, be hardworking, and also have mentors, people that they look up to, people that can genuinely help them. They should not overwork themselves. I said we should recognize burnouts. You know, it's healthy to say no. It's healthy to say, I need to stop at this point and proceed. They should also try to engage with other women and men, their colleagues, network, that is, collaborate, and then support each other. I use the word amplify the successes and activities of each other. So I think that young women need to stay on course of whatever it is they are involved with, and stay focused on it, and keep doing their best, and the sky, it will be the limit.
We had our ICT, International Day for Girls in ICT, April 24, where we tried to boost our girls' confidence. Like I said during the program, we are being charged to make science sexy, make science attractive, make research attractive. And we are reaching out. We have about 20 secondary schools that we are interfacing with and reaching out to them. What we plan to do this year and the coming years is to innovate more so that we can reach more female students, so that they are interested in research and their WAEC and subsequent career choice outcomes can be better. So we reach out, we do more, we innovate more to bring the desired results we need for girls instead. I always say that if there's one reason why a research idea will work, focus on that one reason and do not focus on the 50 reasons why it will not work. Because with consistency and focusing on the one positive reason, it will definitely work.
Okay, this event is a celebration of OWSD Ibadan Branch, where we have a workshop, the AGM, and also we have a workshop and award for our live members and also friends of OWSD. Research will help women, it will elevate them, and it will also help them to attain a leadership position. So with research, it makes them climb the ladder of leadership. The OWSD, which is the Organization of Women in Society for Developing World, currently is have impact on women in Nigeria, or women generally, even in the international world, by making them, when they participate in research, and also they have impact, just like we said, that OWSD, there is networking, there is mentoring. So this will forestall them in climbing and also helping them in achieving their goals in research. Young researchers, and we advise them that they should, all we have been taught today, they should put it into practice. Although there may be challenges, they said they should be resilient, they should not minding anything, they should be focused, and also they should also try to network and collaborate with others. So this will help them.
This is an annual event being organized by the OWSD. We normally use it to honor our past leaders, the great researchers that are women, and also men that are in support of women advancements. We also use it as a means of coming together to interact and also to evaluate how to advance the cause of women. The roles of research in advancing women in society. Okay? Research is about problem solving, looking for problem and provide solutions to it. And as a result of research, there are some challenges that are facing women. But through research, we can address some of it. For instance, we have a lot of underrepresentation of women in various positions of authorities. Through research, we'll be able to discover some of the limitations, some of the barriers that are limiting women advancement. For instance, we have cultural factor, we have bias, we also have the family responsibilities. But through research, we are able to discover how to navigate, how to be a balanced woman. Because woman, as a researcher, you are a mother, you are a wife, and you can also be a community leader. As a result of some of these studies, women are able to know how to navigate. Through research, women are moving forward.